that's just your words, right? What about the design of this thing? How do you make it look? Do you use images? If so, how many? Of what? What colors do you use? I've heard that orange CTA buttons convert the best. People love orange. Have you heard that? You should use that, right? Orange. But what if that's not your brand color? How important is that, really? Maybe Joel knows. Hey, Joel?
So I want to shift gears a little bit here and kind of focus on maybe design elements, we'll say. There's a lot of claims out there that certain colors perform better, or certain images and certain locations might perform better. What are your thoughts on like the importance of? We'll start with color. Does color have an impact, and if so, to what extent?
Yeah, it can be huge. I think the biggest misconception that I come up against fairly often is people think CRO is essentially like, we made the button orange and bigger and ta-da! Like they think it's like essentially just like board designers being like, make it a different color, make it bigger. Those things can they can play a huge role. You can see in e-commerce, there's lots of different things that, we made the button bigger, we moved it around, or, we know, for example, like images of animals and babies and like tend to boost conversions when used in appropriate context. We know that images of money used in the right context can trigger certain things. So the brain is like a complex wonderland of associations. And I'm not going to be the one to say like, none of that stuff's important. It's all only copy, because I'd be wrong. The design, the way information is presented matters a great deal. Things like even the colors of call to actions and positioning of them can make a huge amount of difference. On the visuals front, I have seen for myself, like the difference between a static image and a moving image, where like a GIF, like some well-intentioned person is like, yeah, we'll have this animated thing of like the software in action on the side. Well, what happens is like our eyes are attracted to motion. I can't be reading your copy over here and like watching your thing over there. So you've actively diminished how much attention I can pay to either one. That might pay off. It might not. So design matters a ton. Copywriters should know enough design to be dangerous. It's a whole field. I can't say you should be an expert designer, because that would be a disrespect to that profession. People spend their whole lives and still feel like there's a lot to learn. It matters a huge amount. But what I can say confidently is that no amount of intelligent design will make a crappy offer perform better. Like if your copy is off or the offer doesn't resonate, you can make the button the size of the entire screen if you want to. You might see a boost in conversions by accidental clicks, but you're not actively helping people solve a problem better. You're not actively communicating information, that changes their mind about a problem or persuades them. So it's a critical factor, design. But I would say, it's something where design and copy benefit each other.
Yeah.
But the best design on the planet with horrible copy is not going to do that well. Where the best copy on the planet, even with horrible design, I think still has a fighting chance of doing very well for you. So the two are both critical. The two both have an important role to play. Color, button size, imagery, it all plays a huge role. But if your offer is bad, not a whole lot of the design stuff is going to matter that much.
Okay, so it still comes down to your offer. What do your contacts get? And how is that presented? Now, as Joel mentioned, visuals, colors, images, they matter. So let's take a look at that. Different colors evoke different emotions. They make things stand out, or they make things blend in. Up to 90% of snap judgments that people make can be based on color alone. Color creates an emotional response in the viewer, and you can see in this graphic from the logo company that different colors evoke different feelings. Now, this doesn't mean that color is everything, but it definitely does contribute. You can use multiple colors, but using every color in the rainbow is probably a good way to hurt someone's eyes. Like anything, there's a happy medium. The important takeaway here is your CTA. Again, you might have heard that a certain colored CTA button converts better than any other color. And in some cases, orange might be the color that works for you. But the rule of thumb is to make sure that your CTA stands out against the rest of the page. So let's look at an example. In this case study from Marketing Donut, they tested a green button versus a red button. The green button is consistent with the brand's colors, and the red is something completely new. The result? red outperformed green by 21%. And the reason is contrast. Not necessarily because the red button is red, but because the green button is green. It looks like it's supposed to be there. It blends in. It doesn't call any attention to itself. It's lost in the sea of the brand's primary color. So use color to draw attention to your one offer. Use color to correspond with the emotion that you're looking to create, right? If you want to create excitement and optimism, or maybe you want to highlight tension and seriousness of an issue, color can help you do that. Okay, now on to images. Joel mentioned how images can work, but also how they can ask your viewers to just do too much at the same time. So let's take a look. Take a look at these two images in a case study from Highrise. In this first A/B test, they tried the image on the left, which is the original page, with a long-form informational page. The results, 37.5 more signups happened with the page on the right, the long-form page. Why? Well, visuals don't necessarily have to be images. Improving the visual hierarchy, or the order in which your one reader gives attention to the page, that can result in a huge lift. The page on the left, it's disjointed. It's all over the place. What do you look at first? Where's the uniformity in text size and images and in image size? There's arrows everywhere. There's icons, photos, text. There's so many things to click on. Yeah, visuals are a way for you to really highlight the rule of one, which the page on the left doesn't really help with. Now, a second A/B test took place as well with the original image on the left, and the one on the right focused on highlighting an actual person. The person page was much shorter. It contained less information about the company and the offering, but it resulted in 47% more paid signups than that long-form design, and a whopping 102.5% increase from the original page here on the left. Why? For several reasons. One being, your brain processes images approximately 60,000 times faster than it processes text, which means your brain picks up on the story being told in the visuals much faster than the story that you're writing with your words. Visuals are an incredible tool to convey your big idea, so use it to your advantage. The page on the left has images. It even highlights people further down the page, but it's indicative of a bigger issue. There's a lot of ideas in this image. What do you look at first? What's the story? What's the big idea? Now, the other page has one main image, one person, one big idea, much easier to process, much easier to focus. So adding visuals doesn't just mean, more visuals is better. Far from it. Visuals are important. They can improve the success of your landing page, but only when they fit into the big idea of the page rather than introducing more ideas. Hi, thank you for watching. If you are enjoying Growth Decoded, you can find a link in the description to sign up and join the Grow team. You'll get exclusive content and opportunities that have to do with the show. You can also hit the subscribe button for Active Campaign's YouTube channel somewhere down here, and you will never miss an update from us.